All right, part two of episode one, the beginning. Okay, so I started on episode one, just a real quick recap. We talked about my life. I was born in Winona, moved to Oxford, Mississippi, in a little community called Pine Flat when I was young. Got in with the wrong crowd in Pine Flat. We terrorized the town. I mean, we blew up mailboxes with firecrackers. We put snakes in mailboxes. We painted on them street signs. We stole street signs. We smoked. We dipped. We drank beer. We cut up. A lot of my friends started adventuring with drugs and things like that, marijuana and all that stuff. Drugs wasn't my thing. I liked the beer and I smoked cigarettes. So went all the way in episode one or part one, all the way to I was in the Marine Corps. Went overseas and I found this guy by the name of Jake Stapleton, and he was the first person that I can remember that was an actual true Christian person. And just his demeanor, his personality, everything about him was contagious to me. I wanted to know how he could be so happy and so just smiley, happy-go-lucky kind of thing all the time. Like every time you met him, he was smiling. Man, he was happy. Everything he done was positive. Like he had no negative. Anything we were doing, even if it was a miserable time, it was not negative. and he wouldn't go out in town and party with us. He wouldn't drink with us. I begged him. I remember I begged him to drink with us. I even have a picture of us. We went out in town when we was stationed in Africa, and we went out in town and we actually rented an entire go-kart track and would have had an open bar. And so all of us was out there drinking and driving them go-karts, and he took a picture. He was pretending like he was holding a beer, turning it up, but he didn't have anything in his hand. I mean, that's just what kind of, he was true through and through Christian. And I just had to know what all that was about. So that was the beginnings of me being curious as to what a Christian person was. I mean, again, my background was terrible. My childhood, I was a bad little kid. I failed my senior year of high school, had to go back to high school, got a DUI at 17. I mean, I was a bad person. And to think of nowadays, a lot of people on social media in particular, they only know the Christian me. They don't know the bad part of me, that I was a bad person and that I got arrested at a young age and things like that. I don't know that. So I'm trying to enlighten y'all on how the good Lord can actually change anybody out there for the better. He can make you he can turn you into this person. He can mold you into the person that he truly wants you to be if you just let it. So anyway, so I met Jake Stapleton overseas in Iraq, and man, we just kind of hit it off, or I thought we hit it off. He might not even know we hit it off. But anyway, and again, I was just infatuated with his personality and stuff surrounding Christianity. Okay, so fast forward, we come back. I get out of the Marine Corps, and the first job I tried to apply for out of the Marine Corps, because guns and weapons and all that stuff, I wanted to be a cop. I wanted to work for the police department. My brother-in-law already worked for the police department. He told me, hey man, just apply. We'll come out here, do a PT test. I'll get you on, no problem. They'll love your background, all that stuff. So I done all that stuff, got hired on. My first day on the job, I was riding around with the chief. He had to do a background check. What was on my background? DUI, 17 years old. It hadn't come off my record yet. So I hired and fired in one day. I didn't even get a paycheck. Man, that was kind of messed up. They should have paid me. But anyways, so that just goes to show that your background can follow you and haunt you even years down the road. Man, we're talking, I mean, I got the DUI when I was 17. I'm now 21, and it's still haunting me because it's still on my record. It lacked 2 weeks coming off my record, and I would have been a police officer. So anyway, so with that being said, I was so embarrassed, and just I couldn't apply at the police department again. So that's where I started applying at the fire department. Again, zero family history with fire department that I knew of at the time. I didn't know anything about the fire department, but I knew that from being in the Marine Corps and being around people and all that stuff, I like to have fun, a good time and all that. I knew I had to be a part of something that involved a team. And so I applied. It took me about 3 or 4 times to get on with the fire department. Finally got on, and that starts my journey. Still not a Christian yet. I kind of have an idea what a Christian is, and I'm starting to think about being a Christian person. I'm 22-ish at this point in time, but I'm still not a Christian. Joined the fire department, still had a foul mouth, still F this, F that, mother F this, and just nasty, just still, you know, the same old nasty person. I have not found God yet. So, where God come in my life really was, I started talking to my father-in-law. Me and my wife got married right out of, as soon as I got out of the Marine Corps, me and her got married. You know, so we're married. We're going to my father-in-law's house, her daddy's house at the time. Every single time I went around him, he wanted to talk about the Bible. Well, again, at this point, I had nobody in my life that had really set me down and told me or talked about the Bible or prayed with me or anything. So for months, every time we went over there, he was working on me. You know, he'd read a scripture, or we'd discuss a subject, or we'd talk about something out of the Bible, whatever. And he just was not convincing me that that was the thing. You know, I liked worldly things too much. Worldly things made me more happy at the time than anything he could possibly tell me in that Bible. I mean, it's my father-in-law. He don't know anything, right? So anyway, so our friendship's building, we're getting closer and closer. And of course, if you discuss the Bible with anybody, you will get closer to that person. It just happens, okay? You will learn things about each other, and you will discuss different subjects out of the Bible and things like that. You will form a bond, a Christian bond, okay? Anyway, so that was happening with us, and I didn't really see it at the time. And man, he would not let me come to his house and not tell me something about the Bible every single time I come to his house. So a lot of times ended up, I left his house in an argument, mad, squalling tires. I mean, cussing at him. I cussed at him several times. Man, you don't know what the hell you talk about, you know. And it was just, again, I still was not that good person that you guys know today. But I'm building, I'm working there, okay? So fast forward several years, I ended up going to Liberty University. I started, we got a church, me and the wife, we started going to church, been going to church consecutively for a couple years now, but what the preacher's telling me, just that little bit of time on Sunday, just wasn't enough. It just wasn't answering all my questions, so I took it upon myself, and I went to Liberty University, decided I wanted to be a youth minister. I wanted to really jump in there and learn. I'm still not saved at this point, still not a Christian, but I figured, what the heck? If I learn enough to teach other people, then I'll have it. I'll understand it, and I'll comprehend it more. So I went to school. In school, had to write essay papers after essay papers about Paul's missionary journeys and all these things. And I never finished. I never finished my Christian ministry degree. I lacked 12 hours. I could still go back and get it today. But I got out. But I had learned enough, read enough, I understood enough. I started going to my father-in-law's church. Me and him kept talking about it and everything. And it took about 4 years of hardcore digging deep, studying before I had that aha moment and realized that I really wanted to be a Christian, that the life I was living was not going to work for me. I was going to die and just be dead. And if I wanted an eternal life in heaven with Jesus Christ, that I had to make a decision. And that's what's most important about making the decision to be a Christian person is nobody can make that decision for you. Nobody can hold your hand, your wife, your mama, your daddy, your brothers, aunts, uncles, whoever. You cannot look them in the eye and say, hey, am I ready? Is it my turn? Can I be a Christian now? They can't make that decision. That's the only decision in your life that you will ever make, that nobody else can make it for you. You have to know here and here that you're ready. And that's when you make that decision. And so I made that decision, went down front, got baptized, and here I am, the man that you guys know and love today. Been working on the fire department now currently over 16 years, but at the time I'd only been working at the fire department probably 10 years or so. And again, it took me 3, 4, 5 years of studying deep. It was not something that come quick, because I was fighting worldly things when I knew what I needed to do. And I'm so thankful for that man. He's dead and gone now, but I love him dearly. And without him, I wouldn't be the guy that I am today. Anyways, if you're liking what I'm saying, interested in these podcasts, please continue to follow. I'm going to post as many as I can until I can't post no more, and we're going to build up until I am that guy that you guys know and love on social media today. God bless y'all. Love you.